Hello, I'm Monica Ahens Madden with the community team, and I am joined for this Ubuntu on Air Community Spotlight by Stu Keroff and the Penguin Corps. Hello, Penguin Corps.
Hello, Monica. Good to see you.
It's so good to have you here. So, we are recording this. So, we'd like to say hi not only to the audience who is here now, but to the audience who will be watching this on our YouTube channel and possibly the Penguin Corps YouTube channel in the future. And today is November 8th, 18th, I think. I
That
have
is
no
correct.
idea.
Yeah.
Excellent. November 18th, 2021. So we are so happy to welcome the future generation of Ubuntu users here. And so could you just give us, I know that there are going to be a lot of people who know all about the Penguin Corps and what it is you do, who follow you on Twitter with those great updates that you give. But for anyone who might be new, could you maybe you or any of your students give a brief explanation of what the Penguin Corps does and also maybe how you got started?
Oh, sure, sure. Does anybody want to take that one, or should I? Okay.
Oh, I see a hand up. All right.
Yusuf, will you please explain exactly what it is that Penguin Corps is and what we do?
Penguin Corps is a Linux-based club that we take apart computers, we download things, we learn, and we basically use open software only.
Awesome.
Great explanation. And as far as thank you very much, Yusuf. As far as the history of this, we've been doing this here at this school since 2019. I was a teacher at a different school prior to this one. I was at a school called Community School of Excellence in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is both of them are charter schools. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what that
Mm-hmm.
is, but charter school is a public school that is independent of any school district. They're kind of a district unto themselves. And at that school, since the students were primarily Southeast Asians, we
Mm-hmm.
founded a Linux club there. We called it the Asian Penguins, and
Awesome. It's
I
awesome.
administered that club for 8 years. Then it was time to move on, so I came to work in Savage at Aspen Academy. This has been a wonderful place to be. And the moment I walked in the door, I said, you know what? I think the kids here would enjoy something like what we had at the last school. So we started the Penguin
Mm-hmm.
Corps. And we started with 14 kids in the fall of 2019. And then when we got up to spring of 2021, we were at 46 kids. Um,
Nice.
So, and
Nice.
these kids are doing all the stuff that Yusuf described. Does
Yeah.
anybody have a thought or want to add to that in any way? We'll have questions in a little bit. We
Mm-hmm.
good? Okay. Would you do you want me to let them all introduce themselves?
Yeah, I'd love if you could all introduce yourself, just your first name, and maybe why you joined the Penguin Corps and what has been the coolest thing you've done as a part of it.
Okay. So, your name and either why did you join the club or what's your favorite thing to do in the club? Okay. Okay. We're actually just going to go like this. All right. So,
That
starting
sounds
over
good.
here.
My name is Evelyn, and I joined because I honestly like doing stuff with computers.
Nice.
My name is Dominic, and I joined because there wasn't really that much going on in school, and then there's this cool club, so I figured why not just join it and see what it is. But it turned out to be really, really fun.
Awesome.
My name is Jeffrey, and my favorite thing to do in the club is install stuff on the computers and play video games on them.
My name's Yusuf, and I think the coolest thing that we did here was probably the 1.01 program.
Okay.
My name's Hannah, and I joined is because my big brother also joined, but I wanted to know more about computers.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. And background, you guys understand.
Okay. My name is Katie, and I joined because I wanted to do something, and I love leaving class early.
That's honest.
My name is Finn, and I joined because it sounded fun.
Okay.
My name's Carson, and I joined to learn more about computers.
Okay.
I'm Caitlin, and my favorite thing that we've done here is take apart computers.
They seem to like that. Yeah, getting used
Yeah.
to computers. Okay.
My name's Nithya, and I joined because some of my friends are joining, and there were great reviews. So.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like we've heard from everyone. All right.
Nice. So I heard people saying that they really like taking apart computers. And I was watching some of your videos as kind of homework for this interview here. And it seems like you all have maybe like some to let you, to learn the hardware. You have hardware kind of quizzes with kind of a fun prize.
Oh yes. Yeah. That proved to be a really, really popular lesson when we do that. We use at least some of the lessons of a curriculum that was published by the Open Source Initiative. It's called the
Nice.
Floss Desktops for Kids curriculum. And some of the lessons are really good. And so we adopted some of them. And the one with hardware and just identifying hardware, I remember trying it early on, and kids really struggled with it because we really didn't have a good way to do it that would engage them. And because the front half has the pictures, the back half has the terms and the definitions, but you may not know what anything looks like. So we decided to put a little spin on it. We said, okay, first off, you can look up these terms in Google Images and then see if you can find something that looks like those pictures, so you have an easier time identifying what the hardware parts actually are. And then to make it fun, for every 5 you get right, you get a Jolly Rancher. In fact, we came to call it the Jolly Rancher lesson, and it proved to be one of the most popular things we ever did, because some kids would turn it into a race because, the faster you work, the faster you got the Jolly Ranchers. And well, first, has everyone here had a chance to try that? Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay, very cool.
Who thinks
And
that they're pretty good at the Jolly Rancher challenge?
oh yeah, oh, looks like a lot of them are claiming to be pretty good at that one. I remember just having the open bag and checking the worksheets as they were coming up to me. It looked like they were getting it right, so I think they were doing good.
That would be good because I admit I'm not a hardware person. Like, my husband built my last computer, and I remember replacing a power source with my dad about 15 years ago when I accidentally blew it up and
Oh,
got the
wow.
magic blue smoke. But you know what? If somebody gave me, I don't know if it'd be Jolly Ranchers. I think I'd probably go for like maybe some little chocolate squares. But if
Oh.
somebody gave me one of those, every time I got something right or connected something without destroying it, I would build my own computer completely.
That's something to keep in mind. Okay, maybe put a spin on it and try chocolates. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, well, maybe who said we couldn't do both? Yeah. So that's a possibility.
Oh, yes, it's
Yeah.
all because open source is all about choice. So
Exactly.
yeah, and I did also hear about I think it was maybe Jeffrey up front talking about gaming. Now, you all have like do a gaming thing like every week or every so often?
Well, what we've done in the past, and this year's admittedly been a little
Different.
different because we've had to change so many things because of COVID. But what we've done in the past is registration in the Penguin Corps is separated by season, and we would do a fall, a winter, and a spring. And the last meeting of the season, we would set aside for gaming and having snacks. So then,
Yes.
and so the kids on whatever hardware we had available at the time, I suppose this time around, we've just used the ones that you were issued. The kids are able to download and install games to their choice and spend the time just
Mhm.
playing and having fun.
Yeah. So what are, 'cause I got to hear what some of your favorite, what some of the students' favorite games were in one of the interviews I think you did for Open Source North.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So
So
does anybody have any new favorites?
so what are some of the games you guys like playing on Ubuntu? Okay, we'll start with Evelyn here.
Super Tux.
Okay.
The racing games are great.
I think we used to like a game called Bomb Squad.
Okay. All right. Well, how about did you raise your hand, Hannah? Oh, okay.
Mario Portal.
Mario Portal. Okay.
I was also going to say Mario Portal.
Okay.
I was going to say Burger Space.
Burger Space.
I
Okay.
haven't played Burger Space yet. That seems to be a popular game though.
They love that one.
T-World.
Okay. T World.
Oh.
I think most of us like Super Tux.
Okay. Most of you like Super Tux. All right. So there are, a handful of favorites, and then it seems like every time we do a gaming night, we'll have one kid start up a server on Mind Test, and then a bunch of other kids will end up joining it. So Mind Test is a popular one too, because while they like Minecraft, with Minecraft it requires you to establish an account and buy it, and with Mind Test, well, I'm sorry, we're at a school, so money matters. So we
Yeah.
we like going with free. So
Yeah. So, and Super Tux Card, I know it has the option of you get to be the different mascots from open source projects.
oh yeah, Super Tux
So,
Kart, like all the guys driving the cars, those are actually actual mascots from different open source projects. Yeah.
so does anyone have a favorite one? Or does everybody pretty much go with penguins? Not that that's
Yeah,
bad.
go with the penguins.
Yeah, I
Jellyfish? Okay.
I really thought, and that is one of the is that that's one of the SQL databases is the elephant. I'm bad at remembering. I remember Orca is the screen reader, and the otter is Lutris. So, and and then honestly, the KDE community has like the cutest mascots. They're
What?
super adorable.
Yeah, and these guys are educating me because I really don't play video games that much.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, yeah, you guys educate him. You got to teach him what the good
Yeah, it's like
games
I'll
are.
play
It's
like
important.
there's like one game I play. I play Neverpud, just do miniature golf. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I did hear about that. That one looked fun. There's a group of us in the Ubuntu community who get together on Sunday and we play golf with your friends, which is on Steam. And so it thankfully, it was one that we did have to buy, but it's one that even a lot of games work so much better on Linux now, which is really exciting because that's the only reason I kept my Windows partition was to play games. And now I can play them all because I run Ubuntu Mate 2004 on
Oh,
my
okay.
desktop. So speaking of flavors, I hear you all also do distro challenges too.
Okay, you guys remember the activity we did last time we did it was in the spring where we do distro hopping?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now can somebody for the people who might not know what that is, can somebody explain what that is? Caitlin, would you like to explain?
So we have hard drives that have different softwares downloaded on them, and you plug it into the computer, and you can do different softwares, and it's really fun.
And one of the beauties, one of the things that we ended up loving about Linux, I mean, so many of us like out in the Linux world, one thing we just really dig is the fact that you can try before you buy. You can format that flash drive and try out a version or a distro before you have changed anything on your hard drive. And so we actually made a lesson out of that. I'll take about like 20 or so flash drives and then format them using like 4, 5, 6, usually about 6 different distros. And then kids can just go and pick one, try it out for a little while, answer some questions about it on a worksheet. Yes, I am a
Mhm.
teacher. Okay.
Mhm.
But then the last time we did it, kids got they were zipping through them so fast they got to try like 2 or 3 different ones in the same meeting. So that proved to be a really cool time. And it looked like everybody was having a lot of fun. What are I mean, setting just standard Ubuntu aside, because we know that for a variety of reasons, largely around standardized testing, we'll stick with that for school. But for the ones that you try in that lesson, which are the ones that you say, I like that one. That one's cool. Yusuf.
I kind of liked Mint.
Oh, Linux Mint. Yeah, that was really
Nice.
popular.
That is a really popular one with people.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it is it like peppermint?
Oh, peppermint. Yep, that was another one.
Mhm.
I remember there's this one I never heard of. It was called Kubuntu. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's very awesome.
I liked all of them that I tried, which were peppermint, mint, Kubuntu, and one other that I can't remember.
Okay, Jeffrey.
Fedora.
Oh, Fedora. Yeah, we
Nice.
actually, had the the upside this time.
Mint.
Yeah.
Hannah.
Peppermint.
Peppermint. And are there any others that kind of leap out to people that they thought this one was cool too? I know like some other kids mentioned how much
Mhm.
they like Ubuntu Budgie and like the Budgie
Mhm.
desktop. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. And that
Yeah.
that one has proven to be very popular each time kids try it.
Yeah, and what the Budgie team is doing, because those are some very cool people who work on the Budgie team. And like they went and a lot of the flavors added support for Raspberry Pi. So now you can run Budgie on a Pi
Ooh.
and kind of and that's really cool. I know that you all have maybe you don't do a lot of stuff with Pis yet, but
Mhm.
it's really neat to see all the flavors doing those things.
I'm
And
gonna
the Budgie
yeah.
desktop
No,
is
go
just
ahead,
so
sorry.
pretty.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful
Mhm.
distro. And as far as Raspberry Pis, I don't know what it is, but it seems like every year I get up to the end of the year and I'm exhausted. So I haven't actually like asked for budget money for some of those because I keep forgetting.
Oh.
So I'm going to shoot for next year, and that would probably be through the technology electives, but I teach those
Mm,
too. So a lot of these kids end up being in those anyway. Yes.
nice.
I've actually tried one of those with my dad at home. It was kind of complicated, but my dad knew what he was doing, so yeah.
It could be a cool thing for us to do here. Somebody else want to comment on that?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why do you guys choose to work with Ubuntu?
Oh, so why did I know that a lot of people who work on Ubuntu are because I think that the community is one of the big reasons why people contribute,
Oh,
because
yeah.
the Ubuntu community is really friendly and helpful, and I think a lot of people who are new to Linux will start with Ubuntu, and so they know that I think that we remember what it was like to be brand new and to, like to be switching from Windows or Mac. And so we try to kind of set that standard of being friendly and helpful. And I think just because there are so many things you can do with it. So like I work for Canonical and we make stock Ubuntu, the one you put on the laptops for the testing. But we have all those community flavors like Xubuntu and Kubuntu and Ubuntu Budgie, and the one I use on my desktop and I contribute to Ubuntu Mate. And it's so neat because those ones it's the community that decides what's the desktop environment and what are the default apps going to be, like what are we going to use for our media player, what are we going to use for our email client, and getting that going from like Windows and Mac where I didn't get any say about what went into that. Then to being on the Ubuntu Mate team and helping say, it's like, I used Lollipop and I used this other media player and I thought Lollipop was better, and having my voice count as to what we were going to use. And it's awesome. And we have kids as young as you who are not only working with Ubuntu distros, but making them, and who are the project leads. Rudra Saraswat, who is one of our Ubuntu community hosts, he hosts one of these streams. He's the project lead for the Ubuntu Unity remix, and he's 12.
Okay, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's 12.
Oh, well.
So yes, so
we'll have to look for him. You said he hosts one of these things too, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll have to look for his show. All right, 12. And where is he located?
He is in India. I'm not quite sure where, but yes.
From the name, it sounded like he might be. Okay, very cool. We actually have a number of students here at the school whose parents moved to the United States from India, as well as this is the most diverse school I've ever worked at, though. So this has been this has been a really wonderful place to be.
Yeah, and our community has people from we have people from every continent except Antarctica. But there might be some Ubuntu user in, at one of the bases there.
Right.
And I do think that all the penguins should be honorary Ubuntu users, just saying. And if somebody's got the penguin, they can hold up in the back there.
Okay. Yep, there it is. Yep.
Woohoo! Perfect. So
yeah, well, I don't think we ever really named any of the ones in the room other than just calling all of them Tucks, but I've got like 30 of them, though. Giving each one an individual name is going to be hard to keep track of. So, yeah.
It kind of would be. So, now, I know we've been talking a lot about kind of the smaller things and some of the social things you've been doing, but I know that especially since we've kind of got a good crowd now, and also crowd, if you have questions, kind of we'll make sure that we get to them we'll make sure that we get to them at the end. But tell us about these two new, and I'm going to link the videos about these two initiatives that you're doing. The one-to-one program, and I know someone gave that a shout out, but also those, was it the penguin carts?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
It all started last spring. The principal at our school, Melanie Jiskra, who has been incredibly supportive of this movement here, and we couldn't really have asked for a better or more supportive leader than the principal that we have at this school. So that's been awesome. She came to me and said, if I can get you some grant money for the Penguin Corps, do you think you can find a way to use it? And I'm like, yeah, I could use money. So at first I wasn't entirely sure how much we'd be talking about, but then, it came up, in the realm of like a few $1,000s. And so I thought, okay, let's do something like this. And I thought, okay, let's get some more laptops for the building. I got a couple ideas. And then the whole thing kind of just took shape over time. And I thought, here's what we should do. So we got a little over 50 laptops from our state's surplus store. Think of it as, and I'm sure most states have these, but it's like the state's garage sale. So the state government in Minnesota, they retire some office stuff because a particular government agency doesn't need it anymore. They've upgraded to a new whatever, a chair, a phone, whatever. It all ends up in this warehouse in Arden Hills. And qualified agencies like charter schools can go in there to shop. So I knew we could get some stuff there affordably. And so we bought, we ended up buying like a grand total of 55 laptops. And then we bought a couple of charging carts to go with them. And I said, here's how we're going to apply this. One cart is we are going to do a one-to-one program, which our school really has never had. We kind of did it a little bit during
Mm-hmm.
COVID when we were doing hybrid, and the kids who happened to be in the building would get to, borrow a Chromebook for the day and then would return it at the end of the day. But it was not a super formal thing. We actually took feedback from this group and our 7-8 group to structure how we wanted this program to look and work. They got to contribute to the user agreement and to the rules that they were going to function under. And they brought their ideas to the table too. And we started that with the 25 kids that are part of the club right now. They come in the morning, they pick up their laptop, they put it in their laptop bag, and then they take it with them throughout the course of the day. They return it at the end of the day. And every 2 to 3 weeks, they have to complete a survey on how their experience has been with the computer.
Nice.
We're compiling all of this data, and we're going to be writing and publishing a case study sometime in the middle of next year. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of summer.
Very cool.
But that's just the first half of the laptops. We put 25 in one cart. We put 25 in the other cart. Now, the other cart is for teachers to check out. That's the model that we have for the other electronics in the building. We have Chromebook carts here. In fact, this year we have more than we've ever had. But my principal was a little concerned about, are we going to have enough for even peak times? And I said, well, let's try this. So we have this one cart here that instead of 25 Chromebooks, it has 25 Dell Latitude laptops, all loaded with Ubuntu. And if a teacher needs a cart, he or she can check that one out and use it for a class period or a few class periods. And then when the teacher returns the cart, then that teacher has to complete a survey, because we're also tracking the data on that. And that will be part of our final report. Now, in addition to just, compiling data so we can, talk about whether or not the strategy actually worked, we're also answering a real world need by making sure that a significant chunk of our students have working hardware and working software.
Yeah.
Now, some people might ask, well, what's the point of all of this? I'm not sure if you've ever seen what a cart full of brand new devices actually costs.
I'm guessing a lot.
Yeah. And this is not a criticism of HP or Acer or anybody who makes those things, because they have to make money too, and new hardware just costs what it costs. But I got curious, so I actually priced it out. One of those Chromebook carts plus 25 new devices, brand new devices to put in it, we're coming in at a little over $12,000 for the whole thing. And that's, and those are, everything's, good devices, don't get me wrong. And everybody's happy with them. But for a school, especially a charter school or a private school that can't go to the voters and say, please pass our technology levy when you go to vote so that we can get more money for this new tech initiative, charter schools don't have that option. We have to, we have to do what we do with the budget money that we have to work with, and we can't appeal to anybody to get more. So I wanted to say, look, I've been doing this with kids for a long time. We can create a model for a charter school or a private school or even a public school that wants to save some money. Use the Penguin Core model. The Penguin Core model has 3 parts: Linux and open source, used computers rather than new, and then finally student technicians to help maintain the whole thing. We got a lot of computers in this building, and we throw another 50 into the mix, and guess what? That's a lot. And right now I'm the one who's supposed to be in charge of all of that, and that's a lot to do. So these guys are incredibly helpful with not only getting things set up, but helping to maintain them. So we're testing that model and trying to collect data to show its effectiveness. But guys, let me just ask you, okay, from what you've seen so far, does the model work? Okay. Is this model effective? Okay. And what we did with either one of these carts, because they're identical, they just have different purposes, but it's the same stuff. We got the price of one cart full of 25 used computers using all open source software down to a little over $2,500. So for the cost of one of the Chromebooks that's out in the
Yeah.
classrooms right now, you could do 4 or 5 of these.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And also one of our members pointed out that upcycling things that otherwise would be going into e-waste,
Mhm.
then those laptops aren't going to end up, on a garbage heap. So there's so
Exactly.
many benefits. So, and
And
it's great that you all are. I think that a lot of people in the chat and a lot of us, how many of you have become the tech support for your families now that you've been in the Penguin Corps? You're going to
What was
be
that?
tech support for your families and friends
Yeah.
for life. Sorry about that. It's just how the
Yeah.
rules work. So, but yeah,
Does
and
anybody want to comment on that? About you've been the tech support for your family? Okay, Carson, and then Dominic, and then Katie.
My parents have no idea how to use their tech.
Okay.
My dad doesn't know how to power his computer on sometimes, so.
Okay. Katie.
Me and my brother are both equally the same for it.
Okay. Hannah?
I always have to help my big brother and
You have to help your big brother.
and my little brother.
Okay.
oh,
Yusuf.
When my mom doesn't know how to turn the flashlight off and I turn it off, it in her eyes it looks like I built like the best computer in the world.
Evelyn.
Sometimes my family has problems with like computers, but I also have some like problems. Maybe like I don't know, like what to do.
Okay, that's reasonable.
no.
Most of the time, my family knows what they're doing, but my sister, like, she's in 4th grade, so she needs help with stuff like online.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right.
And I was just going to say, was it Evelyn who was in the front row?
Yes.
You talk to any programmer and Google or the internet search tool of your choice, everyone uses it. Everyone. I mean, even like the person who invented SQL says that he still has to look up things and like how to do stuff. So, and I think just admitting that you don't know something, but wanting to find out how to do it is such an important skill.
Oh, yeah.
My brother, he's in 4th grade too, and he's like, I know that he wants to be like me, but he's like, I am the computer tech for my classroom today, and I'm probably going to be the tech for my classroom for the rest of the month. So he like wants to be just like me.
Oh, that
that's
is so
awesome.
sweet. Yeah. And it's cool that I remember hearing that somebody got into the Penguin Corps because their older sibling was in it. So,
Do we have anybody here that has like an older brother or sister? Okay. Oh, yeah. Hannah. Yeah. Hannah, your older brother is in the Penguin Corps right now. Okay.
nice.
Um,
Is it okay if we maybe stew one of the questions from chat? Because it
Sure.
looks like chat actually had a question and not talking about how penguin family names should work. So,
okay.
yeah, important discussions going on there. But I think this is a good one. And this is from John, who's actually my husband, who comes and joins me on these streams.
Okay.
And his question is, as young people, what did you find to be the easiest, but also the most challenging parts of Linux?
Okay, the easiest part of Linux and the most challenging part of Linux. You can either answer one or the other or both. Who wants to weigh in on that? Yeah, okay.
When I started Penguin Corps, I didn't really know what like most of the parts like were called, but once I learned it was easier to like do the computers or like start them up and all that stuff because I don't know what most of the stuff were. I don't even know some of the stuff right now.
Okay. Hannah, weigh in on that.
When I first started, it took me a long time to help my big brother and my little brother to do stuff, but now I know a little bit of stuff.
Okay. Does anybody else want to weigh in on that? What's the easiest part or the challenging part or both?
The easiest part is downloading games.
Okay. Okay, Carson.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Okay, same thing. Games. All right. Nithya.
I don't know about the easiest or most challenging part of Linux, but aside from games, I like to like do stuff on the terminal windows and stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, exciting.
All right. Just a show. Oh, do you want to, Caitlin, do you have something to say? Please.
One of the most easiest things, but also that can be challenging, is downloading the things that you want to play.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes you can have like really complicated things that you have to type into the terminal.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, that I've seen. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you a question. How many of you enjoy working in the terminal? Yeah, every hand goes up. And I got to be honest with you, Monica. When I started doing this, that caught me off guard. Because when I first started Linux, I would do everything I could to avoid the terminal window. I was terrified of it. And then I thought, okay, well, this command's not that hard. I can do that. And okay, I guess I can do that. This one here, I can copy and paste that. I guess that will work. And all of a sudden, it wasn't scary anymore. Where these kids, for the most part, they just jump in and do it. They might be a little nervous at first, but once they try that first command, they just take off like a shot,
Mm-hmm. That is fantastic. And it's just, yeah, and you all, my husband, when you all mentioned that you like using the terminal, I don't know if you heard it through my mic, he cheered. So excellent job. But yeah, it's something that it's a little bit scary because there's a lot you can do to kind of make things not work on your computer. But I think it's so powerful though too. And it makes things like downloading those games easier too. Yeah. You just apt-get or apt. Oh, it's so nice.
Well, and something, this came up, oh geez, when was this? This must have been last year. We had a small group of kids here in the lab working on some stuff in the afternoon, and I had one student who I was coaching through doing some commands in the terminal window, and she seemed a little nervous about it, but she was getting it, and she was getting more comfortable as she went along. And then one of my students, who was one of our founding members, who was in it the year before, he was, Mr. Experience at this point. He stood up and said, "Don't worry. If you really, really screw something up, you could just take the flash drive and start over." And I looked at the boy and I said, "Right now, there's a word you're looking for. What is it?" And he looked at me with a big smile on his face and he said, "Freedom."
That is awesome. That is awesome. So, especially since you all are, you're just starting your Penguin Core voyage out, what are some of the things that you are hoping, by the end of 8th grade that you're going to know how to do, or you're going to be even better at? Or so... Ooh, got some hands. Yay.
That's fabulous. Can I just go from this side to this side? Is that okay? All right. Starting over here.
I would like to learn how to build my own computer.
That's a good idea. All right. And then over here.
I would like to know more about the terminal window.
Okay.
Cool.
Taking apart a computer and then reassembling it.
Oh, so not just taking it apart so it ends up like that box of stuff back there that we can't use, but actually get it back together so it works? Wow, there's a novel idea. Can I share that one with my 7th graders? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Okay.
We'll edit that out.
Okay.
would like to help. I forgot.
Okay, no problem. Anybody else want to weigh in on that? Something that you hope to do with the Penguin Corps by the time you leave 8th grade? Because I'm assuming that you're all going to stick with this, right? Okay.
Use the terminal window better.
Use it better. Okay, yeah.
I want to memorize how to install Linux onto a computer, like we've been doing.
Oh, so to memorize all the steps, okay? Because I wrote a checklist, and the kids will use a checklist. But to be able to do that without looking at the paper. Okay, cool.
I want to clone a computer.
Oh, the cloning. We just learned how to do that because we have to get a bunch of more computers ready in case our friend COVID out there decides to shut down a class or two. So that's the thing. All these ones that are in the back of the room, we're actually working on using Clonezilla with that, and it's been working out really
Yes,
cool.
I saw somebody recommend that on Twitter. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't type really fast, so I don't learn how to type faster.
Oh, typing faster? Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Monica, can I throw something in?
Yes, you totally
Okay.
can.
Now, this is still in the preliminary stages, but right now it looks like everything is going to be a go for it. So we're kind of excited. Next fall, we will be introducing a new technology elective here at Aspen Academy. So this is not a this school year thing, but next school year. Okay. And we are going to have a technology elective for middle school where kids are going to take weekly lessons toward the goal of earning their Linux Essential certification from LPI.
Holy cow, that's amazing. Oh, that'll be fantastic.
Now, I cannot find any other middle schools in the United States that are doing this. So if we pull this off, we get to be the first. So that's the plan anyway.
That is going to be amazing. Yeah, I think you're going to have a couple of people enrolling in your school who might not be middle schoolers. Maybe been a while since we've all done junior high, but yeah, that is incredible. Oh my gosh, what you guys are just going to be trailblazers in the open source world, and it's so fantastic.
All right. Well, thank you. That's cool to hear. We still have just a few I's to cross. I'm sorry, I's to dot and T's to cross before we can make it happen. But the administration upstairs is on board with it. They love the idea. Now it's just a matter of just working things out with LPI. And right now, they are looking at a new program that would be more in line with what we do here. And it looks like that's going to be the right fit for us. And we're excited.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Well, I know our time is starting to wind down. But what is the best way for people watching either the stream live or people who are watching it afterwards to get involved and talk about maybe talking, either talking with the Penguin Corps, donating computers, all those kinds of things?
Okay, if folks would like to simply reach out to us, best place to start is to follow us on Twitter. We pretty much are building everything out of the Twitter account that I have for Linux at the time right now, and that is at Stu Does Linux. So that's the perfect place to start. If somebody has something that's more detailed than you can do in 280 characters, email me at studoeslinux@gmail.com. And that's the account that we have set up just for the Linux stuff. And so if you have a question or you want me to pass on a message to the kids, those are the ideal places to do it. If you want to donate a computer, the school's address is on the school's website at aspenacademymn.org. But you can also email me the specs of the machine to see if it's something that we would accept. Just have to let you know, we're not in a position right now where we can take non-working machines or machines that are so old that they can't run the current version of Ubuntu or one of the derivatives. We need something that's a 64-bit processor, preferably an i-series processor from Intel or the AMD equivalent with 4 gigs of RAM. And you take a look at that. Those are not screaming specs, okay? I mean, anything that's in the last 10 years will qualify for that. But it has to work when it comes in the door, because we're not a full service recycler. We're a kids computer club.
Exactly.
But something else that I want to encourage people to do when they see this is, yes, you can reach out to us. If you know Linux, reach out to your local school. Start a Penguin Core program there. If you want some advice on how to get a Linux club started where you are, go to www.linuxclubguide.com. This is an online guide written by me, talking about some of the nuts and bolts of how to get a club up and running, like how to pitch it to the administration, how to recruit kids, how to get computers. Now, the curriculum stuff is not really in the guide. I included a few worksheets that you can download on the last page. But this is more, how do you do a club that's structured like this? Okay.
Yeah.
And so,
Awesome.
Anything else?
I really, really hope, and I don't think this is going to be the last time we're going to chat, and we would love to find ways to not only have you on Ubuntu on air, but kind of show, I mean, there's so much that you're doing that we'd love to get you connected to things in the community that would be interesting to you and that you would want to get involved with. We'd be happy to do that.
And we would love that too, wouldn't we?
Yep.
That'd be very cool. Does anybody have anything that they want to say before we wrap things up? Evelyn?
Honestly, I think Penguin Core is more fun than any of the other extracurricular activities.
Okay, cool. Okay, yes.
This is a question. What's your favorite video game?
Oh, me? Ooh. The current one right now that I play with a bunch of my Ubuntu friends actually is Hot Shot Racing. I'm not very good at it, but it's a game I play with friends, and that makes it a lot of fun.
Okay, Carson.
If you were to work with another software company, which company would it be?
Oh, wow. We're going to cut this part off. I would like to, but honestly, I think I would like to work with another open source company. You mentioned that some of your friends that you all use Fedora when you did your distro hopping, and I've gotten to know a lot of people on the Fedora team, and they're great people. And so if I, did a job working with them, I would like that. But right now, I am very happy at the community team for Ubuntu.
Okay, and Hannah.
What do you do? Any kind of sports?
Oh, you know what? I really don't do much in the way of sports. I really like hiking and walking and those kinds of things. When it comes to sports, I've never been very good. Like, I tried softball and I just get hit in the face by stuff. So,
well,
usually my own fault. But I think there was something that you said that was really good about what you like to do, and that's helping. That's what I do for my job. I help our community, and I connect our community to people and things that they need. And so helping it's a big part, and it's what I think if more of us helped in any kind of way, this would be a lot better place.
I agree. And something for the viewers to keep in mind, tomorrow's technology experts are in class right now. And so reaching out to those kids that could carry open source into the next few decades would be a really, really good idea.
Exactly. Well, it has been such a pleasure to have all of you on, and I cannot wait to hear more about what you do and to have hopefully next time all of the Penguin Corps on.
We'll let the 7th and 8th graders in next time,
I
right?
guess. All right. Thank you all so much. We have had a wonderful time, and we will make sure we get this video to you so you can put it on the Penguin Corps channel as well.
Well, thank you very much, Monica. You have a great day, okay?
You have a great day too, and bye, everyone.